Hi, and welcome to the Live Edge Lumber Girl Show. This episode of the Live Edge Lumber Girl Show comes to you from Tags Tools, with 2 locations to serve you in Hamilton, one at 1104 Barton Street East, and in the mountain at 1361 Rymel Road East, your go-to store for hard-to-find tools and machinery. I'm here with Daniel of Big Ass Slabs, and we have been following each other for quite a while on Instagram. Yeah, so it's very, very nice that we finally are getting to know each other a little more since we have been following each other for so long.
Yeah.
So how are you today?
Very good.
Yeah, great.
As you say, the weather is great today. We got
Yeah.
in and makes it feel a little bit more ambitious to get stuff done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, especially milling slabs, you want the weather.
Exactly. I don't work well in the rain.
No, I suppose sometimes you have to, though.
I try to avoid.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anyways, so this is really exciting. You're the first person that I've talked to really that since I started this that has a mill. So tell us a little bit about your business, what you do.
Well, my name kind of says it all. Big Ass Slabs, chainsaw mill and timber work. So I operate a chainsaw mill. I've got 2 Alaskan mills, 4-foot that allows me to do about 42 inches, and a 5-foot that I can do 59 inches with.
Okay.
And primarily started out, salvaging urban logs, going into backyards, that kind of thing, which the chainsaw mill excels at, because a lot of the logs, when you get up to something that maxes out a 59-inch bar, it's a lot easier to move slabs than it is to move the log.
Yeah.
Especially in the backyard. So, along with that milling, then I also do some timber frame projects, primarily backyard kind of structures, gazebos, pergolas, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Okay. So so generally people just get a hold of you and say, yeah, I got a tree in my yard. You cut down the trees as well?
I don't cut down trees.
Okay.
That's a whole nother skill set that I'm happy that other people do.
So are you sort of like stockpiling slabs and then you cut them for and then get them kiln dried and then for sale, sort of like as if you have like a retail environment?
Exactly. I've got my slab shack, which is my showroom, which I've got probably 500 pieces, ranging from charcuterie board size up to single slab tabletop pieces.
Right.
So a lot of what I do is for building my own inventory for sale. So I have several customers that I mill for, and they stockpile their own material, which is the most inexpensive way to get your own material to work with.
Right.
And I also have 2 homemade dehumidification kilns. So I dry my own product, and then I can also offer custom drying for customers. Just recently, I added a Slabmizer flattening table to my operation.
Nice.
A huge step up from using a router sled.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm able to really provide a product that when a customer comes in looking for a slab, they know that it's being kiln dried, it's being surfaced. They're able to pick up a sander and start at 60 or 80 grit. My slab shack is climate controlled, so I've got a dehumidifier and a heater in there. They're going to get something as close to ready to work with as possible.
Okay, that's really awesome. So tell me a bit of your history. How did you get started in all of this?
I've been doing this now for about 4 years. Would have been 4 years in March when I got the mill. Went full time in it August of that year, so 3.5 years ago. My background prior to that, I was working for a farmer up the road who had a Wood-Mizer, an older LT40. So I got my background in milling there. And at the time, I had bought the Alaskan mill because we were starting to get into larger material. And I thought, well, that would complement what he had. I had a little falling out there, so I ended up jumping out on my own. And it's just sort of snowballed from there.
Right. Okay. So you're servicing a big area around London, Ontario, right?
Yeah, London, Woodstock, a little bit up into the Stratford area. When it comes to milling, I like to keep it around about an hour's drive or less.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Still, it covers quite a large area here.
So are people able to just like stop in anytime to look at slabs, or are you by appointment, or how do you operate that way?
Right now, with the virus situation, I'm by appointment.
Yes.
Um, but generally, in normal circumstances, I'm open Fridays and Saturdays for just walk in, and then other days by appointment, depending on what I'm doing.
Tell us what has changed. Like, how are you changing the way you do things now that we have this virus? Like, are you doing like curbside pickups? Or do you send photos for people to look at, or
Yeah,
like how are you getting your business?
I'll send photos. If
Yeah.
someone contacts me and says, "Hey, I'm looking for something approximately like this," I'll have a look through and I'll say, "Okay, I've got 2 or 3 pieces." I'm very low traffic here. Like a busy day for me is seeing 2 people on the same day. So I'm able to, keep customers separate from each other. And
Right.
if someone wants to come and have a look, they can have their space to look through my inventory. And
Yeah, right on. That's awesome. Right
it's
on.
actually been a little bit better business right now because everyone's at home and they're looking for something to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know. Everybody just wants to have something feel productive. Put it right.
So I'm sort of doing my part in helping people stay at home with something that keeps them busy.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what kind of species do you generally carry?
Local domestic hardwoods,
Yeah.
so maple, ash, walnut, a little bit of cherry, some beech. I've got some poplars, some spalted maple. So
So a good variety.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, right
And,
on.
most of it, like I said, most of it is salvaged. So I don't have, I don't consistently have certain things coming through.
You're based around salvaging trees that are dying or falling, or
Exactly.
that people are like they're cutting them down, so you may as well save
Exactly.
that tree, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I try to concentrate on unique looking pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
So that, people have a piece of art that they're taking into their house kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what it is. That's what slabs are. They're like art.
Yeah,
Art by Mother Nature.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you think of one time when you had to go and mill a log, and can you tell us a story about one time when you milled a log and it's just a very memorable.
Probably a really memorable one recently. Did a massive white oak near Strathroy. It was about 10.5 feet long. And I actually maxed out my 59-inch bar. Had to, as we were coming down the log, had to keep sort of trimming so that we could get through it.
Oh yeah.
And ended up with, I think, 9 or 10 slabs out of that each of them is going to be a single slab tabletop.
That's amazing. And it was white oak, it'd be heavy. Oh.
Very heavy. And I'm not to the point where I'm fully mechanized. I don't yet have a tractor on site or anything. So levers and pipes for rollers. I'm getting to the point in life where I don't have anything to prove. So the easier I can make it, the better.
Right on. Right on. Yeah. So did you sell all those slabs, or you still have some of those slabs?
I still have all of them. They were only milled in January. So
Oh, okay. Okay. And you're drying these yourself?
yes.
Yeah.
Those ones will likely air dry until sometime next year, and then
Yeah. Do you like paint the ends, or do you put wax on them, or do you do anything like that?
I don't. I probably should, but it's a practice I haven't got into. And so far, I've been fairly lucky.
Yeah.
Minimal checking and so on.
I heard that you could just use regular latex paint if need be.
Yeah.
Just paint regular, whatever you have, just paint it.
Yeah, just something to slow down that drying right at the end of the slab.
Mm-hmm. Right on, right on. So are you making furniture as well, or are you just cutting slabs?
I'm just starting to get into doing more finish work. I've just recently closed in my shop. I've been working in an old tin shed, which has been up until now very cold in the winter, hot in the summer, but I
Yeah.
just got framed in inside it, 1.5 inch rigid foam around the outside of it. Today, you could almost work in a t-shirt in there.
Right.
I'm
Right
looking
on.
forward to that.
That's nice.
So
Congratulations on that. I actually saw that on Instagram.
thanks.
It's a good feeling.
It is. So I will be able to start doing more finish work now that I've got that controlled environment. But primarily right now, I'm trying to focus on the milling, the drying, and the surfacing, and maximizing that equipment so that
Yes.
then
Smart.
I can build and do more finish work, as I've got those other processes.
Yeah, right on. Okay. So, so what are your plans for the future? Do you think that you're just gonna sort of keep dabbling the way you are, or do you see yourself growing into more building, making more furniture?
I do see more finish work. I've got another gentleman who's been starting to work with me, and I see him doing more of that while I focus on the rough end of things. Um, Ultimately, I'd like to get more into urban salvage, get set up to the point where I could have a wide band sawmill here and be working with several tree companies so that they take down a tree, they can either deliver it to me, or I could be in a position where I have a truck to be able to pick stuff up and then take it from the tree through to either a customer working with it or turning it into a finished product myself,
Yeah,
and
okay.
make use of this urban forest that right now basically goes to waste.
Sad when you see them come in and cut down a bunch of trees and then they just chop it all into firewood, or worse, even just leave it to rot.
And right now, in my area at least, there's not anyone who's got the capacity to handle that amount of trees. I certainly don't yet.
Right.
But to be able to get a wide band sawmill and eventually a vacuum kiln, so that I've got all the equipment, that I don't just simply have a pile of logs sitting here that I never get to.
Okay. How big are your kilns?
I can fit probably about 2,500 board feet in them. I've
Like
got
in each one?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how, like, what's the structure like?
It's basically built out of 1.5 inch rigid foam. I've got
Okay,
I've got them built into the corners of my workshop. So
okay,
the outer walls, they're on the outside is 1.5 inch foam, 4 inch of bad insulation, and then 1.5 inch rigid foam on the inside for the box. The one end and one side are removable foam panels, so that I can completely open it up to get material in and out of the kiln.
oh, wow, okay, so you can take it right apart, basically, and then just lift your stuff
Exactly.
out. Do you have a tow motor or like a lift truck,
Everything,
or
everything's
everything by hand? Okay, so you have some muscle around to help you, obviously.
a little bit. And again, like I said, levers and rollers.
Yeah, okay, levers and rollers, right on. Good for you. Yeah, right on. So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what would be the best way to contact you?
Best way would be through Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Big Ass Slabs, Chainsaw Milling, and Timber Works on both of them.
Right, okay.
And that comes right to my phone. Otherwise,
Yeah,
give me a phone call.
right.
Definitely have my number on Facebook. I think it's also on Instagram there as well.
Okay, okay, right on. What is it? Just say it so that in case somebody's got a pen.
Yep. 519-777-8343.
Great. Well, listen, it's been great. I'm glad that we were able to sit and talk.
Yeah,
And it's nice to learn more about your company and what you're doing. And I think it's wonderful. And I like that you're, your own entrepreneur doing your thing. And you seem to have a solid idea of where you want to be at with it all.
exactly.
And
I've got a 2, a 3, a 4 year kind of goal where I want to get to. It's just what's the first step I do that allows me to get to that next step.
And do you think that this whole virus thing is going to affect those plans at all? Do you have a feeling of that, like just a sense of it, or do you have a sense that no, it's okay, like people still need my service?
It's going to slow things down a little bit.
Sorry.
I've actually been surprised at how steady business has been.
Yeah.
I had hoped to have a wide band sawmill on site by the end of the year. That might get pushed into next year, but
Right.
time will tell.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you're not giving up.
No, there's still bills to be paid,
Yeah.
and logs to be milled, and
Yeah, though I believe it. Yeah, that's great.
and it's
Yeah.
given me a chance, because I'm not able to be off site as much, doing custom milling or whatever. I've been able to get my workshop closer to completed.
Sure. Okay.
As the weather gets better, I've sort of got a plan of attack for my log yard of getting through them and at least getting them, slabbed, air drying, and ready to keep the kilns busy.
Yeah.
As they
Yeah.
go.
So there was a positive, I guess, to this whole virus thing and having to be at home, is that we're all getting a lot of things done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it'll leave me better positioned than I was before.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? That's a good way of looking at it too. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I'm happy for you. All right. So again, it's Daniel from Big Ass Slabs, and I really appreciate that we were able to talk. And if anybody is in the London area and needs slabs or needs a tree cut into slabs, give Daniel a call.
Great.
Okay, thanks
for the conversation.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed watching, be sure to click like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell to stay in the loop. If you have any questions, or if you would like to be featured on the Live Edge Lumber Girl show, leave a comment below. Until next time.